Hello students, welcome to Science and Tech series with Dr. Vivek Rana. Hope all of you are doing well and updating your science and environment current affairs on regular basis. So today's topic is going to be one of the most important topics for upcoming prelims. We'll be decoding aspartame controversy. This can be classified under, you could say, general science in news or controversial chemicals in news, because this theme at times appears in UPSC prelims almost every alternate year. So make sure you are absolutely clear about the basics of this particular chemical in question. So if you are someone who is over conscious about your diet, or you have a sweet tooth, or you feel that sugars are something which you are avoiding in diet and resorting to some artificial sweeteners, this news holds important for you. So there's you could say this in this month July, there's a major controversy associated with this aspartate chemical, which has been boomed almost in last, you could say, 5 decades, but now is facing a lot of heat due to a damning report by WHO, and especially the wing which has researched, IARC. So World Health Organization's Cancer Research Wing, which goes by name of International Agency on Research on Cancer, has made clear indication that aspartate could be a carcinogen. Now, carcinogen is a substance which can induce cancer in human being. We know that the cancer carcinogens could be a physical agent like X-rays, gamma rays, the penetrating rays, which is say, or at times it could be some chemical agents like peroxides, mustard gas, and at times we have seen biological viruses also associated with triggering cancers, such as cytomegalovirus. So let's delve into the aspartame journey so far, because almost all themes, right from its discovery to its application to its advantages and the final fallout of controversy, holds important from prelims perspective. So aspartame was is a, you could say, a wonder chemical which was discovered by American chemist in 1965, who was goes by names of James Schlatter. Even though the person's name may not be too important at this point of time, but there's no harm in going through and celebrating the journey of aspartame. And the formation of aspartate is through combination of two amino acids. Now if you focus on the name and you have biological origin, you could still guess the one of the amino acids involved. It is aspartic acid, that's why its name is aspartame. And another amino acid which is used is phenylalanine. So basically, when we were covering natural sugars in our basic biology lectures, we have seen that the sweetest sugar is fructose, whereas the common, you could say, instant or immediate source of energy is glucose. But these glucose, fructose, galactose, or all these natural sugars, they have one major disadvantage at times, that they add to the calories in diet, because they are, you could say, monosaccharides, or you could simple term say simple sugars. Now an individual who is not competent enough to metabolize or regulate blood glucose level in his body, especially the diabetic person due to insulin deficiency, they at times tend to be skeptic about this table sugar which goes by name of sucrose, because sucrose is a disaccharide which is formed by combination of glucose and fructose. So once the enzyme breakdowns sucrose into its constituent units, it's likely to shoot up the sugar level, or you could say add to your calorific value. So diet conscious individuals or persons who cannot use glucose on regular basis tend to move towards artificial sweeteners. So basically this discovery was created a hallmark, because as we will see that aspartame, as we have just highlighted, is formed from protein. It's not a sugar. So basically it's not going to add drastically to your calorific value as well, and also it is not going to add sugar content in your diet. So it could be a win-win proposition for individuals, and it is not the only artificial sweetener available in market. Make sure you have a clear idea what are the basic artificial sweeteners available in market, which goes by name of sucralose, which was also in current affairs last year. Also the saccharin, molasses, these are some of the popular artificial sweeteners which goes by, because a basic question could also be framed: which of the following are natural sugars? They might just highlight glucose, galactose, fructose, sucrose, maltose, and artificial list as I have just highlighted. So make sure you have a clear idea which ones are the natural carbohydrate rich sugars, which are the artificial. And also the repeated question asked in examination is which sugar dominates in honey, so or some any specific fruit. So answer of that question is fructose. So in this background, this discovery was hailed as a milestone. And once the chemical became popular and it became economical to produce this chemical, so almost you could say there are thousands of products currently in market which use aspartate as one of its constituent. And the major one are quite you could say reputed brands are already earning billions through marketing strategies are the soft drinks. Especially you must have heard currently there's a trend of low calorie diet, zero calorie diet Coke or diet Pepsi. So all these popular brands rely on aspartame, because once you add the natural sugar, the sugar free tag it cannot be used. So basically all those diet Coke, and there are also some chewing gums which goes by names of that no sugar chewing gum, and there are also some cereals which are being currently used in breakfast. They also contain aspartame, especially for individuals who are not too comfortable or are over conscious about consuming sugars in their early morning breakfast. Basically, there are thousands of products which are currently using aspartate because of its qualities. So, what are those qualities that had made it are its clear advantages in the evolution of aspartate? The first major advantage is that it is marketed as that it's a zero calorie, you could say the nutrient which you can incorporate in your diet, because it doesn't add drastically to your calories. So if a person who wants to lose weight or is an obese person, is now a diet chart is being prepared by some who's a nutritionist individual, so he is likely to be recommended to switch to such products. So basically this is one of the ways by which aspartate use found you could say usage in many folds over the years, and still its reputation, there is no harm in saying that it's one of the you could say material which has zero calorific value to once you consume it, because the science behind it because it's a protein. You need to differentiate protein from carbohydrates and fats. So that's what aspartate is currently doing. There are other proteins as well which can be substituted. The second major advantage is generally when we tend to substitute anything related with sweetness with some other nutrient like fat, protein, they tend to do not have the same sweet taste which we tend to get addicted to. Now, aspartate has, when we compare the natural sugar with aspartate, it has, you could say sweetness index is in favor of aspartame. It is 200 times sweeter than the table sugar, which we commonly consume on our daily basis. So in simple terms, we can say if you have to compare sucrose, which is known as commercial sugar, table sugar, with aspartame, aspartame has a distinct advantages of being 200 times sweeter and yet not adding to your, you could say, calories. So these basic advantages of sweetness as well as adding no, you could say, calories made it a choice of, you could say, material for food and beverage industries which have thrived over the years. Now, currently the controversy which is raking up related to this chemical is related to World Health Organization's specific, you could say, cancer wing report of IARC, which has a specific criteria through which it classifies the controversial chemicals or any chemical, in fact, in terms of risk factor associated and being a carcinogen. So basically they follow a standard format in which they have specifically 4 categories according to which the risk factor can be caused. So we'll be just highlighting, just for your information sake, that so that you could have an objective opinion regarding the aspartate controversy, that on which exact level currently aspartate falls, and they may challenge this decision, or over the years it may get upgraded or downgraded in some other category as well. So make sure you are aware that exact category of aspartate as per the current. Now, substances which are placed in class 1 are classified as they can definitely be a carcinogen. So they will be written, it can cause cancer. Currently, the controversial chemicals which we cover in our class lectures like arsenic, lead, beryllium, these are the clear class 1 themes, category chemicals which are strongly associated with the being carcinogen. In class 2A category are the chemicals which can probably cause cancer. So word is probably. Whereas in class 2B, the word is it possibly can cause cancer. And currently, the you could say aspartame is classified in this 2B category. And in class 2A, we had red meat, also controversy, which was sometimes where created lot of buzz as well. And in class 3 are the chemicals which do not cause cancer. Comparatively, this is a safe category, and some chemicals at time which were associated with the being carcinogen risk, once they clear it, they are classified in class. Like there were hair dyes and other similar chemicals which are currently in class. So basically, the chemical which are chemicals, controversial chemicals which are hot in the limelight becomes controversial once they enter class 2B, 2A or class 1. So for the time being, aspartate is being placed in class 2B categories, which can be alarming risk factor. And because in the current studies, as per their reports, they have prepared a comprehensive report. Over 1 lakh individuals were studied over a span of a specific time period, and in 2020 deadline year, they clearly found out that almost the risk factor was 1.5 times higher in individuals who were consuming a low calorific diet based mainly on aspartate as one of their dietary supplement, either in terms of cold drinks, soft drink, chewing gums, and other breakfast cereals. So this makes aspartame a controversial chemical for the time being. Let's see how the controversy unfolds. Either it will unfold in favor or against aspartame. But this material is important from general science section because it activates the basic topics of, you could say, the nutrition, which is formally mentioned in your PCS syllabus as well. Also in terms of science and tech, these are discoveries which are associated with the, you could say, the life altering or lifestyle disorders which can be managed through artificial means. If you have any specific diet, specific question related to this dietary nutrient in question, you can go ahead with it. We will try to take up your genuine queries. So I hope you got a fair bit of idea what is aspartame controversy. And make sure you go through some associated topics which may not appear in the current affair, but there should be a conscious effort to cover those themes. One of the themes could be the diabetes mellitus and diabetes insipidus difference. Other could be a quick revision of entire biomolecule chapter, in which you should ideally differentiate how carbohydrate, fat, proteins, vitamins are different in sources, in their deficiency disorders, and you could say their relevance in everyday diet life. So if you have gone through these basic things, more or less you can say you have covered the static and the current part, which ideally should be covered as part of your UPSC preparation. So thank you very much. I hope this session was useful in some way. We will meet again for another science and tech or environment theme next week. So keep following science and tech series at CCS Academy. Have a nice day.